Aquarian collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your 7-card draw. What do I need? Read for this full moon to new moon, June 2022. I am your reader. Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short. They're my initials. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998. Author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. Available on Kindle. And there's a link in the description box, and you can preview it for free on Kindle, and you get to see the dedication to my mom, which is just a great big heart opener for me every time I go back and look at it. I mention it because I'm driving up to Saratoga to see her and my members of my family visiting on the very full moon we're about to talk about in this 7-card draw full moon read. Oh yeah, and I'm a creator on Patreon. Maybe you've heard of it, patreon.com/drawing the circle. A whole lot of drag queens over there, and my drag is witch drag. And while we are here, Blessed Pride Month, and happy witch cats, right? Because these were the fans I grabbed. I am a gay man. If you couldn't tell, check the batteries in your gaydar. That being said, if you are new to the channel, oh wait, boing, it's just another thing on the checklist. The magical applications are near endless when you're self-employed. If you are new to the channel, we're going to have fun with these. It's a shadow read, but we're going to have fun with these. If you're new to the channel, a 7-card draw is just one card from 7 different decks, getting clues, tips, and hints about a specific astrological astrophysicist. Girls will be girls. Google it. A 7-card draw to get you clues, tips, and hints about a specific astrological timeline, darling. And let's have a look at it. It's a waning moon from the full moon in Sagittarius, Tuesday, June 14th, Flag Day here in the United States, Donald Trump's birthday, and my dad's birthday. God rest his soul wherever he may be, which makes me the Tiffany, and I'm okay with it. At 7:52 a.m. Eastern, I am in New York, so I will be doing some magic for the full moon for myself, and then I'm going to record a little spell thing for the element of fire. Sagittarius, most likely candle magic for Patreon, and then everybody else gets it later because they're Patreon. They're my patrons, my humans, my heroes, my angels, my witches, my immortals, my gods, my goddesses. And then, of course, we are looking at the 2 weeks following the releasing, the letting go, right? The waning moon, surrender, Dorothy, alchemy, right? The lead to gold, right? The alchemizing of lead to gold. Lead has 3 more atoms in it than gold on the periodic table in earth science. So that's when I learned it. So symbolically, it is the releasing of those 3 atoms because there's gold in the lead and there's a blessing in the shadow if you do the work. That's what we're going to be looking at so that you can hit that new moon in Cancer on Tuesday, June 28th, 10:52 p.m. Eastern. Perfect for Tuesday night, really, seriously. Get to do it later on at night. Everybody else can be asleep or not and just do your thing. So that you're ready to begin the new, right? Clean the slate for that. In Cancer, and I will have the 5-card draws for the new to full out before then for sure. So it is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and check your other signs to get more information about the timeline we're about to look at. Your sun, moon, and rising Venus may have different information, hopefully congruent information for whatever it is we're going to look at, but sometimes it's 4 different things that you have to release, let go, forgive, surrender. You get the deal. During a waning moon. So both feet on the floor, if you can. Focus on your breath, if you will. And I will do the best that I can to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace. That's what I'm born to do, apparently. I'm good at it. I got cool hair, right? Friend of many an aquarian around the planet. And on a more serious note, I'm going to try and keep these light, but I'm well aware of what's going on planet Earth. We're seeing humanity possessed by the collective shadow. Carl Jung, white courtesy telephone, right? And so all of us are on a hero's journey, and it's not much of a hero's journey without villains, right? So the more we do our shadow work, right, whatever's going on, because everything's here to help, right? Everything's here to make us better, but we don't have to like what's going on. We can't accept somehow something in here for us. So if you do your shadow work and I do my shadow work, and really we're all one, then that's the way we go from a lead timeline or a leaded timeline to a golden timeline. One more based in love rather than fear, truth rather than illusion, health rather than toxicity. I think you get the vibe, right? So I think that's pretty serious, right? So now let's try and have fun, my aqua lungs, because a spoonful of organic raw honey doth make the soul contract go down, your own personal soul contract. Check out Sacred Contracts by Carolyn May's lovely book, because her cards are first. Ready? Let's do this. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine, the angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of the General Assembly, the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, the spirit animals and totems, as well as the pantheon of all pantheons, including all traditions, lineages, and cultures. We cannot get more inclusive than that, please. What is the dominant 8th chakra archetype hovering over the head of the Aquarian collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, affecting the electromagnetics of all their chakras and their energy fields under it, what they attract, what they repel, maybe getting them what they need, but not necessarily what they want, so that they can develop this soul power, anchor it into their being. This full to new June 2022. The detective, oh, mon ami, oh, good God, Hercule Poirot, which technically he's not French, he's Belgian, and really it's David Suchet doing Hercule Poirot. That is the voice I have in my head. Oh, Hastings, you have le detective superior. Now every archetype is neutral, shadow and light, pain to peace, toxic to healthy. The challenge, but the blessing, should you do the alchemy, the shadow work. The detective is a member of the wisdom family of archetype. 9 different families, the wisdom one. So the shadow attribute is voyeurism and falsifying information. It's Gladys Kravitz 101, right? It's the snoop, it's the spy. Voyeur. It's Kim Carnes' song, I believe. Playing somewhere in the back of my subconscious mind. The light attribute you're shooting for, this would be the gold, is great powers of observation and intuition, desire to seek out the truth. So like I said, from shadow to light led to gold, illusion to truth, right? Break chains of illusion and set all things to right. Reveal what has been hidden and bring the truth to light. Warp. Let's keep going. That, like I said, is affecting all the chakras underneath. You can have an archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime, right? So it can be there for a day. It could be there for, let's say, 10 years as a season of your life. Joy, fun, seasons in the sun. Really depressing song, by the way, in retrospect. But you can also have it lifetime, womb to tomb. Yeah. So let's get the next 4 chakras down. Daughters of the Moon Tarot will cover the feminine energy, the yin, the yin. The yin, the yin, babe, right? Heart, third eye crown is, because you got the mystic power here, so then it drops down into spiritual power, mental power, willpower, which is about choices and decisions, spit it, swallow it, or chew it, as I like to say, and then emotional power, and this is where the shadow work begins, because at least you got to choose to do it or not, and that's the free will part of it. You're not in control of what you attract and what you repel, despite the ad nauseum law of attraction stuff, because the ego grabs a hold of that stuff and thinks it's the cosmic cash machine. No. You want to jump timelines, you got to do it from the inside out, and I think Abraham Hicks in particular would agree with that particular summation, shall we? Oh, Esther, Esther, Esther. Please take a nice deep breath. Totally Sanford and Son flashed back there. Still point. Well, that's an interesting feeling in my energy field as I call upon my goddesses of air, the sign of Aquarius. Powers of the East, please, Daughters of the Moon tarot card. What's going on? Heart, throat, third eye, crown, internal world, internal world. For the Aquarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, to help them do the alchemy of that wisdom family archetype of the detective, reason, season, or lifetime, this full to new June 2022. And you've got the Nine of Blades. Now, Nine of Swords in Rider-Waite, which most tarot is based off of, at least somewhat symbolically, variations on a theme. We're really looking at here critical thought. The key word here is criticism written on it, but we usually enter that word through more the shadow than the light. Think about a critical care unit. Yeah, you may not want to end up there, but it's life-saving, right? This isn't just focus. This is like microscopic critical writing, critical math, right? Critical mass, right? I don't know what that means. Yes, I do. It sounds like a really important ritual you have to go through or something. But certainly all the arrows are pointed inward, so this can also be deep introspection. I'm going to say very third eye here, which sort of goes along with the desire to seek out the truth, the sacred truth of the third eye, according to Carolyn Mace. Again, this is her deck, one of many. This in Anatomy of the Spirit is seek only truth. Each chakra has a sacred truth that transcends tradition, lineage, and culture, because your biology is your biography, and everything that you need to move forward is always within you, but blah, 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 right? Then how do we get the pin codes? That's what these readings are for. Shift the balance from lead to gold, and then thy destiny may be foretold for the well-being of all with harm to none. Yeah, like they show us the whole picture. Never. Let's see what the lower three chakras say here. Mythic Tarot will get the masculine energy. Outside looking in, inside looking out. You looking at a person, place, or thing, and I do mean person, place, or thing, because lower three chakras are about relationships in the physical world. Root chakras, groups, tribes, circles of friends, your political affiliation, your favorite band, right? Anything that you belong to en masse, as they would say. M-A-S-S-E. No, you know what I mean. Second chakra is your relationship to another person, individual, one-on-one, or thing. Money, sex, power. It's a very, very powerful dynamic. The second chakra there, particularly, it involves so much of how we relate to other people, and it ain't always sexual or romantic, obviously. Solar plexus is your relationship to yourself in the world, your self-esteem. Remember, self-esteem is a verb, not a noun. If you think of it as a noun, it gets crazy, because it's something you have or you don't have. You do have the ability to evaluate yourself, to estimate yourself, but it's a sliding scale of lead to gold. The more you tune to it, right? And it is your personal intuition. It's your survival intuition. Your honor code, what you will, what you won't, what you do, what you don't, your boundaries and all that jazz. Please take a nice deep breath. Thank you. I love it when it's timed with door slams outside. It's just punctuation. Still point. As I call upon my gods of air, the sign of Aquarius, powers of the East. one card in clarity for the Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. What do they need to be aware of on the outside? Again, it could be that they need to step outside and look at themselves horizontally, because they're so used, Aquarians, from seeing things from the stratosphere, right? Can they kind of take it in from a more horizontal than a vertical trajectory? So what do you got from lower 3 chakras that they need to be aware of? This detective in the 8th, criticism. 8 of Blades on the inner, which can be overthinking. Like you want to go 9 of Swords, Rider-Waite deck. Yeah, I got so many swords over my head. And on the outer, you got the Moon. Well, there you go. Cloudy, most likely, with a chance of meatball vegan, or otherwise you do you. Hecate, though, one of my favorite goddesses, knew about her relatively young. I was like, who's she? Technically, she's a Titan. She's not an immortal. She's not an Olympian. They're all immortal. And if you're a god or goddess, you pretty much got the immortal life thing already going on. It's a bump up, though. It's more like double diamond than, just gold. The goddess of witches, the queen of the crossroads for me. The 3 faces of Hecate at the crossroad are very much the 3 phases of the moon. Maiden, Mother, Crone, you do you. But when it's a major arcana card, like this one we said, this is very third eye, this 9 of Blades, when it's major arcana, it's automatically all the chakras involved, and these are the lower 3. It's really cloudy, you don't know, but come on, mystery, it's a detective. But you're overthinking it. I'm gonna tell you like I'm from New York, because I am. You're overthinking it, honey. I told you I'll keep it light. You saw how many dead comic spirit guides I have, really. You'd be like, no wonder. It comes with the package, and I'm glad about it. Seriously. Some of my best healing moments have been because of Carrie Fisher whispering in my ear. Funny shit. Well, and that's the gig here, right? You're going to bring these chakras into alignment little by little by little by dealing with what you have to deal with, but it looks like more inside, right? So the outside right now, it's cloudy. You can't really navigate, but there's a lot of emotion going on. I would say that. Very empathic, emotional, and intuitive. And it does say great powers of observation, third eye, and intuition. Perhaps that is lower 3 chakra, intuition. But if the mind and the gut don't agree, then it's usually the mind that has to shift, because the gut doesn't really change what it's feeling unless you repress it. So let's get you a healing mantra card from the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck. 1 of 3 bookie book readings for this, because they say it way better than I can remember it. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Yeah, as I call upon the Ascended Masters of Truth, because that's what's going on here. We can be a little specific. I call to the Ascended Masters of Truth for the Aquarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. Shed some light. What's the perfect healing mantra they can work a little bit every day to help them with this shadow work of the detective in the 8th, 9 of Blades on the inner, the Moon, Hecate on the outer. Just something that they can, fixed air, Aquarius, focus their mind on this full to new June 2022. Discovering happiness. I am content. I allow myself to be content. I allow, big important word in this mantra. I allow myself to be content exactly as I am. Now, it doesn't say every day for the rest of my life, otherwise my vision board's going to explode. No, that's the spiritual ego. That's the ego learned spirituality, and it's making you wrong again, where you can't screw up the divine plan for your life, but you can try and delay what cannot be prevented. That's the deal with shadow work. You go from lead, an insulator, to gold, a conductor. things move usually. So discovering happiness, that's why I didn't even have to look at the back of the card to read the mantra, because I know this one. And come on, this is at the core of so many Eastern philosophies. I could have been a comparative religion scholar and teacher, but you know, this is as close to like elbow pads as or whatever elbow patches that I want to get in this lifetime. It's from H&M, you know. So discovering happiness, man, it is the core. It is about the truth of who you are. And I know people are going through hell on earth right now, but, you know, sometimes you gotta go to hell before you get to heaven. Bingo, Jed had a light on. That's what I thought the lyric was when I was a kid. I told you I'm gonna keep these light. I'm doing these on a Sunday. I am just chomping at the bit to drive north and see my family. So let's talk about, and I'll do this with you, I allow myself to be content exactly as I am. When happiness is discovered, meaning it's there, but you got to discover it, right? Oh, there you are. You are inspired, excited, and passionate about the gift of being alive. Oh, let's stick a pin in that for a second. The gift of being alive. I'm sure a lot of people will talk about that poetically, but when you're going through it, it don't necessarily feel like a gift. But that's how the soul sees it. It got to come down and play the game. You're a divine being and an immortal soul on a hero's journey in a human body, right? That's what my tiers on Patreon are based on, human, hero, immortal God. It's just my way of looking at spiritual awakening from a bit more of a pagan, ancient POV lens to look at it, right? So, you know, it's a gift, but you don't always have to feel that way. You don't have to like what's going on. Just, oh, I'm going to be happy. No, that's emotional bypassing. Big no-no. There is a willingness to open your heart to the mystery of each moment, whether you're getting what you want or witnessing unexpected outcomes. Boom. Right, got some feelings about what's going on in the world. And if you are, and I always try to remember to say this when it comes up for sure, if you are an empath, and I don't necessarily mean the sociology part of that. Everyone's supposed to be empathic that way. We're getting there, hopefully. I'm talking about energy sensitive, vibrational, emotional empath, feeling other people's energy. Comes in through the lower three chakras, and then it moves up, and so that's where you do the alchemy. It's called being triggered. But sometimes you don't know, you're picking up on other people's stuff, right? But as you heal your part of it, vibrationally it heals everybody a little bit. And that's shadow work. That's how it works. Quantum, wantum, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly. Don't ask me why, but it's also in A Course in Miracles, which I find very interesting. Foundation for Inner Peace, blessed be. Are you witnessing unexpected outcomes? Well, the discovery of happiness frees you from needing life to bring you more of this or less of that. The true joy of being yourself has dawned. This mantra is ideal for facing disappointment, right? Disappointment means that you had appointed something to be part of the divine plan that wasn't for you, but just for right now. Just for right now. You can't see ahead what's going on in the physical world right now. Fly above it and allow yourself to be happy as you are right now. Developing self-approval. There you go. And feeling fulfilled, right? Just allowing yourself to be content, because content may sound boring compared to ecstatic, but it's a landing pad, right? It's where you can kind of come to and just be like, all right, just for now, right? Just, not even just for today. I love that just for today thing. This is more like, no, just for now, I allow myself to be content exactly as I am. And if my back hurts, well, I'm not content about that, but I can be content about how I feel about it right now, which is, right? Just an example. 3 more cards down. I like that. So we've got a detective discovering happiness, which I find interesting as a detective is trying to discover things, the truth. Let's ask the higher selves. Now, if there's anybody else involved in this, their higher selves are involved. You know, another person, an entire group of people, lower 3 chakra stuff, right? But the higher selves of all involved, that is the divine part of you. So let's see what's going on there. From the Whispers of Love Oracle, watch the party turn, please. as like grains of sand through the hourglass. So turns the cards of the party. Please take a nice deep breath. The gaze of our lives. Oh dear. Thanks, Carrie. Still point. Well, it is the whisper of love. It would feel warm and sweet. Here we go. I call upon the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. What is the whisper of love? The piece of information, inspiration, insight most needed for the Aquarian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading to help them alchemize the detective in the 8th with 9 of blades on the inner, the moon on the outer, discovering happiness, allowing themselves to be content exactly as they are. This full to new, June 2022. Speak the language of love. Ah oui. Béni soit le véritable amour. Speak the language of love. Loving words have the power to change someone's life, including your own, and maybe that's what this is, internal. Yeah, then it's really throat chakra. It's about saying to yourself the words that you want other people to say to you. Maybe silently, nobody needs to know. Be wicked covert about this stuff if you like, because no one can hear your thoughts. I don't care what the tinfoil hat woo land contingency has to say about that subject anymore. Thoughts are things. There are no private thoughts. Course in Miracles. Check it out. It keeps popping up in this reading. If you really want to find the unity within it all. It ain't easy, but it's simple. Love is your answer. You got to open your heart here, my darlings, and speaking the language of love. You know, we want to hear that language of love for other people, but people have said, I love you, and then done very unloving things. That's just human nature. We all have bad days, and what makes them do that? The unprocessed shadow in themselves, and let's face it, all of humanity, because I'm sorry, I don't think trees and animals have shadows in that sense, right? They're in the moment. There is no past for them usually, except an elephant never forgets. But do they forgive? I had that conversation last night. Someone said to me, you know, an elephant never forgets. I'm like, yeah, but do they forgive? Oh, God. You try being a professional mystic 24/7, 365, E-I-E-I-O. Let's keep going. Speak the language of love. Because let's talk about the aminals, shall we? The animals. The animals. Let's talk dirty to the animals. I'm not going to finish that song, but Gilda Radner, I guess, is part of my Shecky collective. Divine Animals Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. I love this deck. I love this book. The artwork, the breakdown of the totemic animal spirit stuff here is really good. So if you're going to do the shadow work and you've got spirit animals and totems, there's a difference between the two. I'm not going into it right now. But it's good to know who it is and know that they're there because you've got a friend. James Taylor reference. Let's roll with it. Carole King too, right? Please take a nice deep breath. It's my favorite pantheon. Still point. As I call upon the spirit animals and totems for the Aquarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, watching this video, receiving this reading, please, who walks with them, who swims with them, who flies with them, who crawls with them, giving them the guidance, the grace, the love, the wisdom, the power, the protection, the support, as well as an oracle message to help them alchemize this detective, which is very Aquarian, which 9 of blades on the inner, which is very Aquarian, with the moon on the outer, which is really, really mysterious and cloudy and intuitive, but if they can allow themselves to be they allow themselves to be content exactly as they are, they can discover the happiness here and bring this into alignment little by little by little. Of course, speaking the language of love. which is just key. And, you know, it doesn't have to be externally verbalized, but to say the words that they really want to hear to themselves. It's not an instant ignition thing every now and again, but it takes time. You plant a seed and watch it grow, even though this is a waning moon read. Put the right card in my hand. We're waiting. Who walks with them? Who swims with them? Who flies with them? Who crawls with them? This full to new June 2022 Orca. I will never be able to get that scene of Finding Nemo out of my mind ever again. Oh, krill. Orca, sort of a whale version of the movie Jaws, if you were around in the 70s, I think, when that came out. Song lines. If you sing, this card is your gig, but if you don't, we're talking about a very, very, very powerful thing. I mean, there are whales coming from the sky as well as from, which says something about their origins, I think. It is gorgeous. Card number 30. A mammal, technically. Big brains. Great. Just was watching Good Omens. Great big huge brains. Just going to read you the first part and the last part, the verbal description and the magic indicated. Please take a nice deep breath just for fun. Card number 30, Orca. Song lines. You are walking in the bloodlines of your ancestors, but you're an individual who makes your own destiny. There's family stuff going on here. And remember, ancestors can be symbolic as well. Right? Like, I don't know. This is just the easiest. Florence Nightingale is your ancestor if you're a nurse or a healer. Like, that's symbolic. That's archetypal ancestor. Seek better communications with family. Nourish yourself and exercise extreme self-care. Speak the language of love. Share your skills with others. Talks about the animal. It's just a really, really cool book. The magic. Orca magic can be raised by singing your own song by the sea, by the sea, by the beautiful sea. Wouldn't it be dashing? It's a feminine magic that can be used to help heal breaches in family relationships. Oh, like a whale breaches. Whoa, that was fast. Orca magic is also one that asks for self-care and nourishment. If you are feeling weak in your physical body or mind, especially with issues of vitality or endurance, the power of the orca can be called upon as an ally. And just so you know, ancestral stuff, I get it, but it's mostly DNA genetic patterning stuff, and emotions have biological consequences. Yeah, so this stuff gets passed down. But your soul knows that before you incarnate, right? So what we're undoing is not really who we are. Like, a lot of our trauma and our pain, and I'm not invalidating anybody's trauma or pain in any way. You got to feel it to heal it. But from the soul's point of view, that's not who you are. You're a divine being in human form. I'm not the first person to say, oh yeah, I just came up with that. Isn't that great? Should I merch it? Should I put it on a t-shirt? Well, I am wearing that Marvel. Oh, honey, if I was Marvel Comics, I would be Scotty Strange, Doctor Strange's gay brother. Oh, boy. I love this reading for you, though, particularly if you can sing yourself some songs of love, even just, Rockabye Baby, not a good one. Just saying. Triggered! For any of you who are boreally raised, live in a tree. Remember how we talked about the gold, and there was lead, and then there are golds? Well, the gold is the hidden blessing, and that's what we're going to use. The Blessed Be by Lucy Cavendish. The mystical Celtic blessing cards to enrich and empower, but though they are Celtic, it's been consecrated and empowered, given to the pantheons of all pantheons. This is an inclusive channel. I don't care what you're doing with your physical body. Do no harm and be authentic, and let's see what hits the table, shall we? It is, after all, Pride Month, which is also a deadly sin, by the way, but that's another conversation. Right? When are we going to have a lust month? Wrath month. That's going on every fucking day. All right. As jokey as I get to be during this, because I have divine permission to do so, to deliver truth with that spoonful of ridiculous goofy, this is where we get a little bit more serious. We do the blessings for real here. I can draw down gods and goddesses and archangels, so I can certainly bring forth a blessing from the pantheons. So please take a nice deep breath. Let's see what this hidden blessing is. Got the hardware. Got the hardware. That's rutilated quartz on that baby. Please take a nice deep breath. All right, so this actually will be the summation and the blessing. And if you want to hang around for the last little bit, we can chat. And that's when I release, I guess that's a good word. I release and reloose the, in this case, Aquarian Collective through letting the goofy fly. Please take one more, at least. Nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon the pantheons of all pantheons, all traditions, lineages, and cultures for the Aquarian Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Watching this video, receiving this reading, please. What is the hidden blessing? The gold within the lead, the light at the end of this shadow work tunnel for them, so that they can embrace and experience their great powers of observation and intuition, both third eye and other intuitive chakras, enhancing their desire to seek the truth. Maybe not what's true, proof that they did it, but the truth, the truth that really is here. And with that 9 of blades on the inner, that there is that analytical, taking it up a notch to the critical, like really critical thought, really looking at pieces here in the third eye. And that internal direction makes sense because the moon on the outer with Hecate, this is not happening to them, this is happening for them. So if it seems really cloudy on the outside, really mysterious, it's because there's a mystery in play. Hecate is involved. And she loves everybody. She really does. Just don't cross her, except at her crossroads. So the more that they can discover magic, that they can do. They can say little by little, for maybe 3 seconds, I can allow myself to be content exactly as I am, and hence begin speaking that language of love, even with that mantra, right? Begin there and let other words flow there for them, because loving words have the power to change someone's life, even their own. And with that song lines, to let that song come through them, to sing their truth, to sing those words of love. It's vibrational, but it's also about intensive self-care. And I would rather them be in intensive self-care than in a critical care, right? Ain't that just the way that goes? Oh, that's the way love goes. So please, with all of this on the table, and it does make sense, it's a pretty clear through line. What's the hidden blessing? Some aspect of the golden timeline, the hidden blessing, the gold within the lead, should they do their best to do the alchemy this full to new June 2022. A blessing on your wisdom. Wisdom ain't just thought. Wisdom is really more element to earth because you lived through it. You're going to come out of this with immense wisdom. Now, I have to say, a white owl, a black raven, because there are white ravens too, something sort. This is, I mean, look, she's got the crescent moon on her forehead. This is like straight out of Avalon here. And I'm digging it. I am digging it. Card number 36, a blessing on your wisdom. Let's see how long this one is. 1, 10, it's pretty standard. Okay, here we go. Please, take a nice deep breath. Still point. Pantheons of all pantheons, transmit through me. I'm ready. Card number 36, a blessing on your wisdom. A blessing to grow and develop wise ways within our lives, for us to respond from a place of experience and consideration, married with instinct and intuition, both part of the detective archetype. Wisdom is a word used so often, yet when we begin to examine it, we wonder if we ever truly knew what it meant at all. For wisdom is the way of the wise. And who is wise? Those who know. What do they know? They know how the world is and how it works, yet they are not jaded or lacking in openness to change. Wise ways are those that come from a wealth of experience and contemplation, of gathering information on the road of life, of having spoken to many humans and drunk from many wells. It is a knowledge of our own nature and of the natural world itself. Wisdom sees clearly, seek only truth, third eye. Wisdom sees clearly and understands the potential consequences of actions. We ask now for a blessing on your wisdom, that you may grow in your own wise ways, and that no experience in this life shall be wasted. That from every encounter and every interaction with every human and animal, tree and stone, you begin to observe keenly how the world works and the natural way of things. You begin to understand deeply through experience the fall of leaves and the quiet cold of winter, the shuddering rebirth of spring, and the fullness of light and warmth that is summer. Every season is your teacher. You come to know you can be of assistance, but you cannot force. You come to acknowledge your influence, but your lack of control. Right? You come to acknowledge your influence, but your lack of control. You're influence, but you're not in control. Yet you strive always to be a positive influence and an example of kindness within the world. And you use your anger and your dissatisfaction to motivate you to create a better world within your own life. And through that, you influence all that is around and about you. Quantum unity. To be wise is to grow and to change and to be still hopeful, kind, and good. It is no longer to be gullible or foolish or naive. It is to know how to act and to behave in ways that others can draw strength from. So, friend, a blessing on your wisdom, that the wise ways, the wise blood shall rise and sing their song lines of experience to you once again. For the well-being of all and with harm to none, as we will it, so let it be done. So motivating. And so it is. One of my goddesses for the throne of Aquarius is Athena, goddess of wisdom. It was pretty right on. I loved it. Did you like it? Didn't like it? Hit the thumbs up. Do me a fave. Help the other Aquariums find it. You guys need the truth. We all do. And as you heal you, we all heal. So there's your 11th house interacting with the world for you. And if you want more of me on YouTube, apparently it's really simple. Just hit the subscription button. I'm good. I'm fun. I've been reading tarot since I am 12 years old. I'm 53. Yes, I know I don't look it. Thanks. Rapid wrinkle repair and some decent witchcraft goes a long way nowadays, apparently. And if you want to come play and you want the deeper stuff, you want Mal unvarnished on the couch pretty much every morning, cup of coffee, hair doing what it's doing in a bathroom, talking about the lunar astrology and what else is coming up in the world, then come Patreon on Patreon, my darlings. Patreon.com/drawing the circle. Humans, heroes, angels, witches, immortals, gods, goddesses, different subscription prices, different benefits. It's a field day over there. I am loving it, and I invite you to join me and the other heroes on the journey, mostly DC, but we've, you know, got some Marvel mixed in there. Why not? Tony Stark's hot. Probably an Aquarian, wouldn't be shocked. But thank you so much for watching. Come check me out on Patreon if you want to book me for a private reading. There's a link in the description box called Booking a Reading with Mel. Can you imagine? A YouTube video explains everything for you. Just like Clarissa, I love saying it. But seriously, wishing you the very, very best. Comment if you feel it. And do your best on this one. Work that mantra. Allow yourself to be content exactly as you are, moment by moment by moment, but don't be nuts about it. Al, I love you, my aqua lungs, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.